Now we'll move on to the next speaker, Shri Prakash from SARD BRC Mumbai on plagiarism detection challenges. Shri Prakash, please.
Yeah, thank you,
8 minutes totally, 6 for presentation, 2 minutes for discussion, please.
sure,
Shri
sir.
Prakash. Shri Prakash from, yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, Srinivasan sir, thank you very much for giving the opportunity to present this paper, and at the same time, the organizers of the conference, Dr. Rajeshri, then Mr. Rajan, my friend Rangarajan sir, thank you very much, and even the total Mala team, thank you very much. So this my paper is on plagiarism detection challenges. So I have done a special review on this, and I have Turnitin and Authenticate are two softwares which are prevalently used in India for detecting the plagiarism. So I will just I have done a comparison about these two databases. So let me start with some official definition. I am just skipping it because there is a time constraint and all. In total, plagiarism look like copying someone's work or citing a source improperly, and then failure to cite a source or creation of false resources or turning in another person's work as your own. And see, I can give you some of the top softwares which are used for plagiarism detection, and with rating and all. So this will be maybe useful for your institution to acquire better software, we can say. And see, ultimately, when we check the plagiarism through a software, the similarity reports are generated, and generally the rating or color code are used for the how much plagiarism or intensity of the plagiarism. So light blue is used for just no matching test, and the dark blue for 1 to 24%, yellow for 25 to 49%, orange for 50 to 74%, and red for 75 to 100%. And this is a sample of a similarity report. So in the right hand side, you can see the percentage of plagiarism from a particular website or digital content. And here in the this highlighted portion is a, sentence which you had plagiarized, or say plagiarized content, we can say. And what are the limitations of the software? See, plagiarism detection challenges have two sides. One is limitations of softwares, and the other side is that the creators, the literature creators, are doing the malpractices with the softwares or whatever with the systems and all. So first of all, let us look at the limitations of the softwares. See, when we translate any document, so that document is treated as an original by the softwares. That is the biggest challenge. And second one is a different referencing style. See, other may use in a different various different referencing styles and all. So that is another problem for the softwares. Then digitized content. Suppose we are taking something, we are plagiarizing the content from some textbooks, or which are not in the digitized format. So that will be another challenge for the administrators. Then when sources hit a paywall, so for example, one software, they will have an agreement with many publishers or many websites, etc. Sometimes it won't check, means the sources are not covered under the detection process. So that is another issue. The fifth one is figure plagiarism. Figure plagiarism means, see, the figures are plagiarized and used for their own document. Another aspect is malpractices made by the document creators. So first one is paraphrasing. See, paraphrasing means, the content itself is paraphrased, and they are used for their content. So the solution is, means there's a solution for the administration are new or updated software. See, nowadays the plagiarism softwares are very smart. They can check even the paraphrasing also. So that can be used. Another malpractice doing by mainly by students and all. They substitute letters like this can be is letters of different we can say acrylic. See, instead of using the particular font, they will use some letters from some other font. So that is also, it's a difficult thing to detect and all. And another malpractice is that inserting white text in between the words and all. So see, so for example, in between p's, that spelling, they will put a either one or l in between and make it white. So that is another problem which cannot be detected by the softwares. And the other one is forged fonts. Forged, see, there are some softwares which are used for creating the letters in a curved format or any other format. So if we insert any letter in between any word which is curved or forged, so it cannot be detected. And the fifth one is format modification. See, suppose there is a text which one person would like to plagiarize. He will make that text into some table, either table or what we can say, graph. So in that case also, it will be very difficult to detect the plagiarism. See, now I come to some just comparison about Turnitin and Authenticate, because see, many of the Indian libraries are using, or they are confused which one to get. If it is a nobody has started detecting the software, in that case, which one will be the best one to our institute. So I have done some comparison about these two softwares. So see, this Turnitin and is prominent stakeholder is academic institutions, whereas Authenticate is being used by research institutions. And what is the usage pattern? See, basically, Turnitin is used for course management based learn systems and requires instructors to set up classes, then assignments and all. But in case of Authenticate, based on folders and documents that are managed by the individual account holders, it will be online. And support for academic institutions act as a plagiarism tool. This one to turn it in, as well as an education tool made specifically for classroom use and is intended for reviewing student work. And it is a purely means Authenticate is a purely plagiarism tool, not many options for academic institutions. Mean to assist academic authors in avoiding plagiarism and copyright infringement when preparing items for publication, and not is intended for classroom use. And the Turnitin is ideal for students in the classroom, and Authenticate is ideal for faculty, researchers, corporates, then governments, etc. And what about the draft version, handling draft version of the documents? See, this Turnitin does not compare with the draft versions, but in Authenticate does not add your manuscript to any database. When you submit any draft, it won't be saved in any server or anywhere. However, your submissions are archived privately. If you want, you can make the folders and keep it in a private way until you delete them. And handling graphs, images, so both these databases are not helpful for reviewing the graphs or images or tables. So in case of Turnitin, the outcome is graded papers, there will be some mark, etc. But in case of Authenticate, it will be a final published work, so with a similarity report and all. So this Turnitin can be accessed through the learning management system, but in case of Authenticate, it is a web-based. Generally, it will be web-based folders. Text matches, color coded. It's color coded matches. Then file formats, almost all formats that accept Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, then PDF, etc. Almost the same, similar. And content databases. So these two softwares, these are checking the literature against what? Actually, see, Trinity is using 70 billion web pages and 170 million content items, 1 billion student papers. This Trinity is checking against these many already existing sources. But in Authenticate, it is 70 billion web pages, 170 million content items, 200 k thesis, 1,000 thesis, and dissertation from proposed private repository. Collaboration and sharing is no in Turnitin, but Authenticate it is there. Submission storage in global databases, yes, here it is not there. Here only we can save the draft items or whatever it may be in a private way. Submission maximum length size 400 pages or less, or 40 MB or less. So both are same. Cost, so there is a slight difference. I indicate just 100 USD. Turnitin is 120 USD. So as a conclusion, I can tell you that, see, plagiarism is an issue in all institutions which can be ignored by the policy, which cannot be ignored by the policymakers or administrators. Honest and transparent way of writing manuscripts will definitely ensure high quality literature. Creators of literature have the responsibility to realize the need for non-plagiarized contents in their documents for excellence in science. Even though the softwares are becoming more smart to detect the tampering of text, it must be the realization by the person submitting the document that the plagiarism may be detected today or tomorrow. So what I mean to say is that, today it may not be possible to detect your plagiarism content, but in later stage it may be there is a possibility that it will be detected and it will be punished or whatever it may be. Intelligence systems and smart softwares or applications will always have their own limitations, but it is up to individual to me or not. Thank you very much.
Uh, it was a nice lecture from Shri Prakash, very educative and need of the day. Any questions from the audience?
Sir, this is Satish Monali here. I have a question. Hi, Mr. Prakashan. I just wanted to know, in the research environment, what is the accepted percentage of plagiarism, this thing, similarity report?
Yeah, generally, so the work is being handled by most of the institutions, either the library, in majority case library, or the academic administrators. I believe so.
Okay, what is the accepted percentage in terms of these publications which are to be sent for the research journal? That is one aspect. And secondly, the percentage acceptance in case of a thesis in the research environment, not in the academic or university environment.
Yeah, so depend upon the publisher or editorial policy of the journals and all. Generally, if you take current science, it is just 20%. That is the acceptable limit, and it varies from journal to journal. In case of thesis, I don't know what is the exact clause for by the UGC, that I am not aware about it, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir, please.
Sir, you have presented well on plagiarism. There is no doubt. And as a research supervisor, I am come across so many clarifications regarding plagiarism. How to avoid plagiarism, number one. It is a threat for all research scholars in general. And people what to do, they are simply paraphrasing. I hope you all know about paraphrasing. Simply changing the text and submitting. And this is the case, paraphrasing. And suppose if we copy from other text and quote it, what happens? We have to put it in within quotes. These are the solutions people suggest. And at the same time, and there is no uniformity in all academic institutions. One person, they say Bardiyar University says Urkund, we have to check up. But whereas in Hindustan University, they say Turnitin software, we have to check for plagiarism. And one gentleman recently asked one question of how many percentage is tolerable. In some institution, 10% is tolerable. In those days, it was 30%. Now it has been reduced to 10% tolerance. So this is the case. And people have to, in order to avoid plagiarism, I can suggest as an experienced professor, I suggest people should be honest. And they have to try to write the thesis on their own. Yeah, then using Grammarly softwares, you can check up for grammar mistakes or spelling mistakes, whatever it may be. This is my suggestion, nothing else. I am complimenting. He has covered all the points on plagiarism. Thank you, one and all.